Hello and welcome. We return once more for Solo Sunday or Friday, depending on your time zone. But we've been over that before. So, without much further ado, let us get to it. It is, of course, well, let's see here. So, let's see. When we last left off, it was escaping the arcology, as I recall, with our adventurer Juliana Aldous. So, that is where we shall pick up from, as per usual. Here we are. So, where to begin? Well, let's get right into it. Sorry, checking my notes. Here we go. Last time, our adventurer Juliana Aldous made her way. Well, they made their way in the team to here, acquired the target, killed 2 of the guards, and are escaping down the hallway. So without much more, let's get right into it. Best to get more done than less. We are, what is it now? 14 streams into this campaign. Well, technically more, but 14 archived streams into Juliana Aldous' adventure. So hopefully you understand how this works by now. I won't go over the entire explanation of how all this works. So, now that we have our dice, Juliana Aldous and her team are making their way down the hallway after an intense firefight, using the target as a shield, preventing the enemies from firing at them. They are making their escape. I believe it is the enemy's turns, given that we can no longer fire at them. Do they want to move into the open hallway? Because they don't know the situation. They will. They will cautiously move forward. Like so. One of them will remain in cover, just in case. Which brings it over to Juliana Aldous and gang's turn. Holding on to the target, the mercenaries will rush down the corridor. Juliana Aldous will continue taking up the rear, given that she has, well, the heaviest armor of the lot. And our associate will make his way to there, heading towards, and he'll 5-foot step to there. It's actually a bad idea. I believe he could make it to there because it's just 5-foot step sooner. And our forces will rush down the hallway as fast as possible. Basically sprinting. To there, and they can theoretically get to there. Aldous will continue remaining in front of them, given that she has heavy armor. As they clank down the corridor, the sound of boots in the distance can be heard. Most people in the area sort of staying away, given the sound of weapons fire earlier. They will move up to there, basically stacking up at there. They don't want to turn the corridor. They wouldn't have enough time in their turn to do much else. So they will simply hold, and I believe, let's check. We will, of course, check with our bot. As soon as I find the button to click it. There we are. We are going to see, because likely, it is very likely that they will call in some form of support or inform their allies of the situation or something like that. So we'll roll a yes or no with a +8. And we're going to apply a specific type of roll here. We're going to roll chaos, of course, first. No chaos. Okay. So when I say specific type of roll, what's going to happen here is basically we're going to roll a yes no with a +8. If it's above a certain threshold, they will call in reinforcements. If it's not above a certain threshold, they'll just inform their allies. And if it's a no, they won't tell their allies. But it's almost certain they'll at least tell the allies, so +8. Okay, let's see. 8 plus 8 is a total of 16. So they will not call in reinforcements, but they will tell their allies of the situation, which will make things get slightly complicated. Perhaps not as complex as if they called in reinforcements, but still. Let's see. My apologies. I forgot something. I forgot something. We'll be right back. My apologies. I completely forgot to grab something before I started the stream. One moment. Hello. We return. Let's see here. Once more, my apologies. There we are. So, our team rushes down the corridor, enemies behind them, not yet able to fire as they make their way up to there, I believe. Unless I mean, I didn't recall the order. I didn't expect to forget something. But I assume it is our force's turn. Let's see. Our team, well, the old man will make his way into the elevator. The enemies have called for, well, not called for support, but called in their situation to their command. And we will also try to make our way into the elevator. Let's see if we even have enough movement. No, we don't. We barely don't. Okay. Well, it's not like the enemy has it either. You and Aldous will take cover here and will um declare what's it called? Will declare the prepared action that if anything moves in, she will shoot at it. Not technically a prepared action. I know that prepared action is a thing, but specifically in Galactic Requiem, there's a special action you can take that's sort of like prepared action, except she'll take a minus on everything next round if she declares the action. So I suppose she'll declare it. Yeah. Because what's she going to do? Hop into the elevator is the plan. So they will look down the corridor, seeing that it's relatively clear. They will try to move up. Ooh, they're not going to make it. Not even running. Okay. They will run down the corridor, trying to keep up with the target. He will remain here with his allies. He'll check them, make sure they're not alive. Not, not kill them, but hope that they're alive and the like. We don't. We hope they're dead, but anyway. So they will rush down the corridor. Do they move into sight? Yes, technically. Aldous will use her special action to fire at the targets. With the roll of a 6, I don't think that will hit. Let's do the math. For that, we need her sheet. Nope, wrong one. There we are. Okay. It's going to be a flat +9. Nope, is it? Sorry, this is a rarely used method of attack because of the penalties it applies. I quickly need to check whether the penalty is applied here. Because I know it applies a penalty to like everything else, does it apply a penalty to this attack? Nope. Here we are. Have to actually, use the right search term in the document. Yes. All attacks, defenses, and skill checks in the round. And he's moved into the square. So it's going to be attacked with 7. It is a attack with a 7. 13 is no. We just waste the bullet. Well, ish. Let's see. Oh, I keep clicking the wrong thing here. I mean, at least it somewhat keeps them in cover a little bit. Drops us to 19 rounds. Okay. Okay, so we fire at him and miss during his turn. So that brings it over to our turns. This has a -2 to everything. These forces will make their way in. All this will fire. Again, I mean, she can make it in, even if she attacks. So she'll attack. Specifically, we're going to fire a 3-round burst with 4 rounds. We're going to fire a 3-round burst with 4 rounds. And definitely not to get our ammo count to a number divisible by 5. And of course, for the rules of it, we're going to fire a 3-round burst. Because if we used a 5-round burst, we couldn't do that with 4 rounds, but we can technically fire a 3-round burst with an extra round, because it's just counted as a wasted round. We're just firing 1 additional round. So as long as we don't exceed the weapon's, fire rate, it's fine. If I can find the dice roller, that is. Here we are. Oh, it's going to be a burst to hit. 15 plus 9. Oh, sorry, plus 7 because of the -2. That's definitely a hit. And then we did a burst to hit. So that is going to be 1 damage. Not 1 damage total, but plus 1 damage. It's going to be 2d10 plus, not 2, plus 1. There we are. 10. 10 damage to our target. And I believe we have AP loaded. Let's see. There we are. Yep, we have AP loaded. So that's going to be 9 damage to the target, I believe. No? Yes, 9 damage to the target. Oh, let's make sure. Yeah, he's definitely within range. 9 damage to the target. Note that on the target will spend their action die to not take a wound, because that is over half of their constitution. And then you learn all this will. Move into the elevator, and they will begin heading down, back towards, well, the lower floors. But we have the target. Yeah, best to get back to base. I was thinking, can we just leave? Like, completely the area, go up to the surface, and then leave via the surface? But I realize there'll be problems with that. We'd have to get out of the area surrounded by enemies and all that, which would be a lot more dangerous since they called it in. We don't know that they called it in, but we expect they'd know. We know that they are alive. We know that they'll likely tell their allies, you know? So, heading to the surface, probably not the best idea. Staying underground, for now, a good idea. I mean, I could be completely wrong. I don't know how this will all work out. But we'll try and return to the gang base. Okay, heading back down towards the ground floor. But do we get to the ground floor smoothly? Because theoretically, things could happen. We'll add a +4. I mean, a -4 specifically. For the question is going to be, do we get to the floor we're trying to get to without trouble? First we roll chaos. Yes, chaos. Next we roll yes, no. No is there is trouble. Yes is there's no trouble. And this is a -4. 8 and 9. Meaning no chaos. -4 is 13. Meaning we do actually get down safely to the ground floor. Because that's still a yes. By the way, 11 and up is yes, and 10 and lowers no. Statistics wise on the dice roller. It's a 50-50 also. And it's 2d10 at a 50-50% also chance. 11 and ups, yes. 10 and belows, no. And it's modified by chance by adding usually up to a +8 or -8 or less. I mean, it could be like a +1 or -1 up to like a +8 or -8 to balance the likelihood of things and so forth. And then chaos, but chaos is only affected on a certain roll, specifically if they're both even or odd, unless you're in a specific mode, in which it is an entire thing behind it. Anyway, we get to the ground floor. Well, the below ground floor. As they, I suppose we'll ask, will they try to follow? This is also at a -4. Actually, I think this one's going to be at a -6. We're not going to roll kills. This one's going to be at a -6. Because if you ask me, it's unlikely the 2 to 3 of them will follow us without any support Two of their people are dead and or dying. We have their target. Sure, they'll want to track us. Nobody doubts that they'd want to track us. But in their tactical situation, I don't think it's likely that they would follow us. Hence, we're giving a -6. It seems like a -6 type of, will they follow us? I'm not sure. But like I said, this is bot run, so we don't make that decision. We leave it up to this here. 1 and 10. For a total of 11. Yes. -6, which brings it down to no. They're not going to chase us with their low resources. They're going to basically call it in. I mean, they'll try and, yeah, they're not going to chase. Okay, making our way downstairs. The old man will probably mumble something about how it's been a while since he's seen such types of things happening in his arcology block, you know? I mean, he doesn't own it, but, the arcology block he lives in. He'd be like, it's been a while since I've seen something so wild in this block. Mumble to himself about, probably not wanting to get fully involved and all that before making his way. He'll probably say he had a hell of a time before making his way, probably back upstairs, not to that floor, but he also obviously doesn't want to get seen. Luckily for him, I don't think he was really seen, at least not in any reasonable fashion given everything that went down. So he's probably safe. Not that we care, we're mercenaries, but So, he'll wander off because, of course, he can't follow us back to base. He lives here and all that. Oh, come on, select them all. And you and Aldous will, of course, continue to stay somewhat in the rear of the formation as they make their way out of the area. By the way, like statistics-wise, you learn all this is armor. The reason that she keeps taking up the area where she'll get shot at is, I think I've been over this before, but these troops, the mercenaries we work with, basically have damage reduction 5 armor. It's not bad. It's medium combat armor. It's not bad. It's lower end medium combat armor to be technical, like it's run-of-the-mill medium combat armor. It's technically designed to stop small arms fire, specifically pistol fire, for the most part. It'll stop most pistol fire, and it'll reduce the damage dealt to an individual from low caliber rifle fire. While Juliana Aldis's armor is heavy combat armor, damage reduction 10, meaning it's technically rated to stop, well, on average, half the time, it'll stop high caliber rifle fire. It will lessen the damage from a 50 cal, and anything more than that's not going to be good. I mean, generally above 50 cal, the damage jumps up significantly, and it's definitely not going to stop an armor-piercing 50 cal. that will do some damage. It'll lessen it slightly, but so I mean, of course, automatic fire does a bit more damage because multiple hits and all that. But theoretically, like it'll stop the average roll of a high caliber assault rifle. So, well, as long as it's not burst fire or automatic, so, safer for her to take the hits. Also, well, armor saves wise, which is a part of the system, I don't think we use it much. We use it on occasion. Basically, theoretically, you have a choice, theoretically, to if you get hit. Well, there's multiple choices. There's lots of choices. You can attempt to block. You can't usually block gunfire unless you have like special things. You can't block gunfire. You can choose to dodge, usually, unless you have special things. You can't dodge gunfire. Those are mostly used for melee, blocks, parries, counters, dodges. With certain feats, technically you can, like, dodge gunfire loosely. It's, like, not counted as you're actually dodging the bullets, but, I'm not talking about deity tier campaign stuff, but, moving when you see somebody getting sights on you and the like. And, there's also technically blocking gunfire, but for that, it's also, you either need heavy cybernetic augments to, dodge bullets or block bullets with weapons and so forth. But usually blocking bullets can be done if you have like a ballistic shield. You technically get a block attack to, if you have a special feat, to reactionary move your shield in the way of incoming fire. It doesn't really work if you have old style shields, ballistic shields. But armor saves. If you're shot at and hit, you have a last ditch choice to try and make an armor save, which, you get your die like this and you go, and you add your armor and dodge and all that. So basically your AC minus 10. And if you succeed, you can take the hit to your armor. If you take the hit to your armor, you take the damage. Damage reduction does apply from the armor. You take the hit to your armor. Your armor takes the damage to its armor health. And you don't take the damage. Of course, there's upsides and downsides. For instance, if armor piercing is enough, your armor save doesn't matter. If there's enough armor pen. And also things like the fact that like sometimes rounds will still pass through your armor, depending, like a 20 mil won't care about your armor save for the most part unless you're in powered armor. And the other downside is if your armor's health gets to 0, it's broken. It's gone. You basically gain no benefit and get a bunch of penalties, basically. Anyway, so, it can be costly to take damage to your armor with an armor save because you don't necessarily know when you're going to be able to repair your armor. But on the other side, you don't want to take damage to health, like that's not ideal. So there are upsides and downsides, but often we'll just skip over it for NPCs sometimes. Because, I mean, it's a bit faster. And, I mean, it's an optional system, Anyway. Our team will make their way over to basically their parked vehicle, taking their target with them. One second. Okay, checking tokens. So 2 of our guys are injured, which is not ideal. Doing a little bit of work. Okay, so first things first. Paste him. Let me grab that merc. Note down his stats. This merc has 5 damage, copy that. This merc has no damage. And everything for Juliana Aldis is tracked on her sheet. So we're looking for... Nope, that's not ideal. The clear sky token, okay. Trying to remember which token to put it on. Nope, he was already injured. Okay. Good. Well, not good, but you know. There we are. Our team will drive away from the arcology. It's a 20-minute ride. Our team will try and be evasive. We don't even know if we're being followed, but you know, we'll try and be evasive, meaning we will roll a stealth check. Let me make sure it's stealth. I'm not quite sure which one we should be rolling for this. Yeah, that would be covered under stealth. Specifically, sneak. Okay, so it's going to be a sneak roll of 9 for the record. Let's see. We don't get dex to it. We can take int to it, so 10 plus. Do we have any skill? Trying to see who'd be better at this, us or our allies. Let's see. Nope, we're equal in it, so literally just 10. But that, we don't even know if we're being followed, so. But we will make our way back to base. No. Yes, yes, okay. We will make our way back to base, pulling into the garage before exiting the vehicle with our target. Which theoretically means we will get paid. Theoretically, I mean, you know, like, we have to get the target out of the city. Then we theoretically intend to stay in the city for a while, which is not ideal because we have our target. The entire point was to remain in the city so we could build out the place. We'll have to figure something out. Hmm. Hmm. I'm not quite sure the plan. I am not quite sure the plan. So, hmm. We get our target back to base. Once at base, well, we will secure and look for a way to extract the target for our payment. We're also going to need to figure out a way to keep us or us and our mercenaries in the city. Unless we can just abandon the city, we can always work on a different city. See, the problem I face is I want a place that we can both play in and world build in. Of course, there's the wider galaxy and all that, but I need a reason to have our character stay basically in a city for us to build out heavily while we go. I mean, I'm also not in the best time to think right now. I didn't get a lot of rest, so my brain isn't really working well. Unfortunately. Unfortunately, I think we'll call it here. We'll work on and plan what to do next time. I'll do a little bit of planning between streams. We'll figure out where we want to take it, what we wish to do, and our plan of action. Because I am, like I said, I'm exceptionally tired and at a loss of thinking of things right now. Admittedly, I was basically up quite a long time working on, well, imperial bureaucracy and a campaign thing, which theoretically, you will hear about ish soon. In because, well, imperial work on a campaign, and work on our news, our imperial news broadcasts, which should start relatively soon. And we'll be covering part of the Second Galactic War. So, that and all that and so forth. Also been working on some other projects. We'll get a bunch done, but for now we'll call it here, and next time on World Building Wednesday, we'll get down to planning and preparing, and next Friday we'll run an, well, hopefully extra long stream and get a bunch done. Because we have to push forward the plot. It will be great. Well, we don't have to push forward the plot. We can do whatever we want. Literally whatever we want throughout the galaxy. But for now, I mean, we'll just call it here, figure out what to do, and yes, hopefully we'll get a bit more combat in. That's what we see. That's one of the reasons I want to just wander about the city doing contracts. Like, we can do all sorts of combat contracts, all sorts of different things, and all that. but I need to actually prepare that, and so we'll figure that out on World Building Wednesday. My apologies for the exceptionally short stream. I hope you have a great day. As always, I'm Casimir Basilius, and hopefully we can kick the campaign into high gear next time.